Morning, good morning. Great job showing up today. Today was a rough one after yesterday. So we're very happy you're here. Thanks for coming. Welcome, welcome. You will notice that Mrs. Alton is not going to speak today because she has, she's got some laryngitis. So she's going to wave and smile and speak very little. So she joined us. Thanks. We've got people already putting their name in their chat. That's great. Thank you. All right. Good to see everybody. Thanks for coming. Just a couple minutes. We'll wait. It's about 3 minutes and then we'll get started. Today, we're going to talk about reading comprehension. If you want to go ahead and put your name and your child's name in the chat, that's terrific. That gives us a head start on making sure who's here. All right. Thanks, everybody. All right. Thanks for coming. Our student meeting will be right after our parent meeting today. But today we have Mrs. Locke. She is the literacy specialist at Abby Rinke Elementary School. So she is going to teach or work with at our student meeting today. So we're excited to see some students here already. Nice job. Thank you. Good to see everybody. Couple more minutes. Oops. All right, got some people coming in. Couple more, about 2 minutes, or maybe 1.5. Good to see everyone. Glad you made it here. Hope you had a nice weekend. Just a reminder, if you can do it now, put your name and your child's name in the chat. And I know some of you are looking forward to Mrs. Alton teaching today. It was her turn, but she's got some laryngitis. So for those of you that just logged on, she's over. She's going to be, she's giving you a little wave. We're glad she's here, but she's not going to do a lot of speaking today. Yes, do you have a question real quick before we get started?
I wanted to make sure that you guys got that he was here the whole first week, because I don't know if I typed it in or not.
Okay.
But he was here the entire whole first week.
Okay, great. Yeah, what happens is we can get a participant list, but sometimes the names don't match the student names that's on the iPad or the device. So it's nice if we have both. But thanks for letting us know. We've got that documented and we'll double check.
Okay. He's been here every day for the whole thing. I just wanted to make sure that the whole week, the whole first week was noted that he was here.
Thank you. We appreciate that. The more communication, the better. Okay, let's go about 30 more seconds. We've still got some people coming on. Thank you so much. I know this was kind of a hard meeting to get back in the swing of things after that long weekend. We hope you had a really nice time. And I think I'm going to go ahead and start sharing. Okay, Mrs. Alton, give me a thumbs up if you think it's good. Should we get started? Okay, she's giving me that double thumbs up. And hold on just a second. Let me get us open. Okay, everybody, let's get started. Today, we're going to talk about comprehension. There are 2 types of comprehension when we're talking about literacy. Comprehension means the ability to remember and understand, and really a heavy emphasis on that understand. There is reading comprehension and listening comprehension. If you remember, a couple weeks ago, Mrs. Alton talked, or maybe it was a couple weeks ago. Sorry, I'm losing track of my weeks. A couple weeks ago, Mrs. Alton talked about shared reading. And when you are doing shared reading, that's when a child is listening to the text or listening to you read. So, and they are working on their comprehension. When you're doing shared reading and having that discussion and all the things that you're working on, you are building their listening comprehension. We know from research that listening comprehension is a precursor or a precondition to reading comprehension. It's a step towards reading comprehension. Now, even if your child is reading on their own, you still want to work on that listening comprehension. You can just go at a higher level than perhaps what they're reading. Okay, so we don't ever really stop working on that comprehension. And listening comprehension is a little different than listening to follow directions. It's really a listening to understand text. Everybody just check you're on mute. I've got a cute little voice, but I get distracted. So everybody check you're on mute. Thanks. Okay. It's also developed through just conversations, just telling stories to each other, experiences, and then also exposure to rich texts. By that word rich, we mean lots of details, ideas, and vocabulary. If it's nonfiction, lots of interesting facts. So that listening comprehension is important. And today we're going to talk about kind of the other half of that. And that's reading comprehension. And that's when a child is reading the text, their ability to remember and understand. Reading, the whole purpose of reading is to make meaning or to understand. We talked last week a lot about all that decoding and figuring out the words, and that's important because if we can't read the words, we can't understand. But it's not only thinking about the letters and sounds, it's about thinking about the ideas. Oftentimes, a lot of times the third graders that I work with or fourth graders will come and they will read beautifully to me. And then I will say, so what was that about? And they'll be like, I have no idea. And it's like, uh-oh, that tells me that they were worried about the sounds and the letters and their brain wasn't able to do the thinking. So we want to avoid that. And we want to make sure that your child is developing both at the same time. All right, so let's talk a little bit about that. So today we're going to leave you with kind of 3 things to think about when your child is reading. Now, this doesn't have to do with figuring out the words. This is the thinking. And we're going to use the words remember, understand, and connect. So just kind of, we want our young readers to kind of be like this guy in the picture where as they're reading, their light bulb is going on and they are thinking. They are decoding the words and thinking as they're going. So I'm going to take a minute and just go over each one of those. So the first one is connecting. To comprehend, readers must connect the new to the known. And that's a pretty established foundation of teaching, that if I'm going to teach something new to a student, I'm going to try to find something they already know and attach them together. We can do that by making connections. And if you look on the next page, I put some things that you could model. So if you're reading, you could say, oh, this Arthur book reminds me of another Arthur book I read. He had trouble in both stories. Or you can ask your child, does this remind you of anything? Oh, I'm sorry, I dropped down to the second one. On the first one, it says, this book reminds me of. It could be, the book is about camping. This book reminds me of when I went camping. All of these slides are going to be in the Google Classroom. So as I go quickly through them, don't worry about them. You'll be able to access them if you want to look at them a little more in depth. So connecting, making connections is the first thing that we're thinking about as a parent when we're reading, when our child is reading to us. The next one is remembering. And this is the one I think we're comfortable with. As children read, it's important they remember the gist of the story. By the gist, we mean like the main idea or the big things that happened. When I went to school a million years ago, because I'm older than all of you, it was really important, like the teachers would ask things like, you know, what kind of dog did Sally have? Or what was Sally wearing? I mean, it was very like specific, but it didn't have anything to do with what happened in the story. And really the things we want our child to remember are the things that happened, like who were the characters, what happened, how did it end? Kind of those bigger things. Don't worry about getting fixated on small little facts, because as long as they can remember the gist of it, they can look back to find those specific facts. And for some people, that has a lot to do with how comprehension is expanded. When I was younger, the knowledge and facts and reading material in the world was much more limited. You think about what a child is exposed to now, the ability to remember every single thing is just not feasible. So we want to train them to remember the gist, and then they can go back and look. Once again, I put a few models for you. You can model in the beginning of the story. I remember that Sally lost her dog, or because it's important for you to model like this thinking to your child. Or you could ask your child, what happened at the beginning? Or I remember Tommy found Sally's dog. What do you remember about him? Just one or two of these. We don't, we don't want them to feel like they're taking a reading test. We want it to be a conversation. Here we go. Let's look at our last one. We did connecting, remembering, and now we're doing understanding. Readers need to go beyond just remembering or retelling the story to you. They have to be able to explain. So for example, you could say, I wonder why, I don't have a text in front of me. So I wonder why Sally's dog ran away all the time, or what do you think? And the other thing with understanding is you want to make sure that if they're confused, they stop and you talk about it. Sometimes if I'm reading, especially like educational study, I'll get in the middle of it and it's like, wait a minute, what did that say? And I have to stop and go back. It's okay. You can even model, oh, I was confused when this happened in the story. Let's look back. What happened? Or you could ask them, was there any area that you were confused? Or what did you think? Once again, as I said, these are going to be in the Google Classroom if you want to look at them. So connect, remember, understand. So let's take a minute. Keep in mind that you want to start discussing before you read, so you can kind of get their brain going. You want minimal interruptions. It's not like shared reading where we stop every couple pages and we talk, because if they're decoding, we want them to be able to read unless they stop and ask a question or they stop with a struggle. Otherwise, we want to do our discussing more a little bit at the beginning and then kind of check in at the end. What you're doing is just kind of checking in. It's a conversation, not a quiz. We don't want them to feel like, what happened on this page and what happened, because then they're being like, we want it to be enjoyable. It's a good time for you to model. If your child is struggling, if you get to the end of the book and they're like, yeah, I don't really know, or you can tell it's unclear, drop back a few levels, go into the Google Classroom and drop back a few levels until you find a level that they can easily talk about. And we are always here to help. Comprehension is like, I can't tell you, whole books are written on this, books are written on this. So to put it into like 3 small words for you, connecting, remembering, and understanding, is just the tip of the iceberg. But as a parent, if you are even aware of those things, that will really help your child. I want to take a minute and just show you exactly with one of the books that you might be familiar with. But before they do that, I'm just going to ask Mrs. Alton, is there anything I should add to that? We're okay? All right. So, and I apologize, all my things are in the way of my first slide here. So if you were reading the book Going Camping and you want to kind of start with that connecting when you get to the cover. So you might say, oh, this reminds me of when we went camping. And then you can kind of talk about, do you remember going camping? Or would you like to go? You're just kind of getting their mind thinking about camping. Or you could say, where do you think they're going camping? People go camping at the mountains, at the desert, at the beach, I'm thinking, look at the next one. Where do you think you're going camping? I think they're not going to the beach, maybe. Or not to the beach in the summer, because look, she like has shoes on and see, just we're just talking and kind of getting our thinking going. Our next one is that remembering. So this is the end of the book. So we're getting to the end of the book. And I might say, well, let's see if we can remember the things that they took on their camping trip. A lot of times I'll do this in group and we'll go around. Let's see if we can get them all. You might say, you say one, I'll say one. You say one, I'll say one. So they just don't feel narrowed down. So in this book, I know they took sleeping bags, they took backpacks, they took water, they took bug spray, they took flashlights, they took games. So just kind of, you can kind of make it fun. And then that way you can see, are they remembering some of the things in the story? Then in the last one is that understanding. We did the connecting, the remembering, and the understanding. Where did they end up camping? Well, in this story, you can tell by the last line, the place we like best is our own backyard. But believe it or not, in reading groups, sometimes when I ask that question, where did they end up camping? I have some kids that go, I don't know. And what does that tell me? They're not understanding. So then we can even ask, what clues? How would we know it was their backyard? Well, it says it there. But also, we know in the story, they didn't need a map because Dad said we don't need a map. And they didn't take a car and they didn't pack any clothes. So those were some clues. So you don't need to do all those questions. You don't need to you can just have a conversation. But if you can keep in mind, connecting, remembering, understanding. Anything, Mrs. Alton, before I go on to the nonfiction? Okay. It's just a lot. If you're listening, you feel like it's a lot. It is a lot, but hopefully this will kind of help you. So let's talk about nonfiction. So here's another book that I think went home with some of our students. And so before reading, it's that connecting, okay? What do we already know about dolphins? Look at this, book's about dolphins. What do you already know about dolphins? Or what do you wonder about dolphins? I wonder how fast they swim. Maybe that'll be in the book. Okay, so then your child can go ahead and read the book. And then at the end, let's do remembering. What are a few new facts you learned about dolphins? And we probably should add from the book or that were in the book, because believe it or not, I'll ask that and kids will be like, oh, on YouTube, I saw a video. So no, what was in the book? What were a few things? I know in this one, it says some dolphins are pink. Can you believe that? And then it also says, oh, I might have to look back, that they can swim, I think 20 or 25 miles an hour. I would have to look back. Miss Alton, do you remember which one it was? Is it 20 or 20 to 5? 25. Okay. See? Okay. Then the understanding. What was your favorite part? Okay, you could ask them that, because to make sure that they can understand a particular part and why it was their favorite. Or you can ask a general question. Like one of the things in this book was that it talked about dolphins swimming in pods. So you could say, why do you think dolphins swim in pods? In the book, I don't think it went much into that, but you're just kind of doing some thinking. Well, because they're social animals. It talked about how they like to talk and be together. So some type of question, anything that you're just trying to check if they understand. But again, it's like a conversation, not a quiz. So if we can leave you with those 3 thoughts or points, connect, remember, understand. And if you remember those things as your child is reading, after they finish a text, I'm just going to try to go through some of those together. And that's just a quick dipping your toe into the pond of reading comprehension. Mrs. Alton, anything else we should add there? I don't want to go over time. Okay, thank you guys so much for listening so attentively. All right, so here we go. On to this week. You have some new games. You might want to retest. I've gotten some emails. Thank you. Several people have sent me some emails just feeling excited about the progress they feel like their child's making. So thank you so much for that communication. 4 in a row is a new game. And I apologize when I think we mentioned it before. You might not have enough of those little round discs. So you might have to use goldfish crackers or pennies, dimes, nickels, quarters, pennies at my house, but M&Ms, whatever, something little. I apologize, there weren't enough in there. You might be able to use game pieces from another game you have. And there's also a mirror activity that's fun. That's our high frequency words. If we talk about our foundation work this week, It's the phonemic awareness page. Or there's a hopscotch game. That's what that chalk was for. There was chalk in that bag. So you get to go out this week. Luckily, it's not as hot as it's been. Make a hopscotch, and all the directions are in your folder, or they will be in the Google Classroom. So you can look up the hopscotch game. Okay. All right, let's talk about writing. This week is another week of sentence dictation. If you came to the week 2 meeting, Mrs. Alton talked at length about sentence dictation. So if you missed that meeting, you can look at the week 2 recording, or if sentence dictation was not your child's favorite, you can just choose something off the menu. Okay, so that's this week for writing. Don't forget the writing tips on the other side of the page. Okay, I'm kind of whizzing today. Here we go. Let's see. Now, Google Classroom, I know you're sick of hearing about this, but we still don't have everybody logged in. So please reach out if you haven't logged in yet or weren't able to log in. If you had a situation that wasn't resolved, we've been trying to follow up carefully, but if we might have missed you. So if you have a situation that wasn't resolved, let us know. Because we're hoping that you can continue to use this. Google Classroom is not going to close down. So we're hoping that you can continue to use. I think we've got a hand up. Did you put your hand up about Google Classroom? Go ahead.
Yes, I did. I'm Camden's mom. I had a question about the Google Classroom. I was trying to access it. Do I need to access that from his school iPad?
Is it Camden Layton?
No, Camden Penoyer.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me do this. I've got you. So I'm just going to give you a call after the meeting. But yes, if you can go through his iPad, but some people are having glitches and different things not working. So I'm glad you asked, and then I'll reach out to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. I did add also a new level of books in there. And we're going to slowly, through the end of this week, be adding resources. There's a new tab down there. You'll see at the bottom, a new heading with resources. In the Google Classroom, Mrs. Alton, what were we going to look at?
Yeah, do you want me to share that?
Yes, now you know why Mrs. Alton is not speaking.
You need to stop sharing though.
I am going to, hold on.
Okay.
Okay, so if I'm going to stop, do I just click out of my share? Is that what I did?
Just stop sharing. Yeah, just click stop sharing.
I don't have a stop share. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. All right. Can you see the Google Classroom? Is it up?
Yes. Oh, that's because we were going to talk about the survey. But you know what? We weren't going to do that yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
That's okay. So hold on just a second, guys. We're a little bit out of order. It's okay. My fault, because I thought we were too. So hold on just a second.
I'll stop
All
sharing.
right. Before we do that, before we do that, I want to make sure that if you haven't discovered this yet, that you look inside your folder for these 2 papers. There is learning fun in your community and reading rewards in your community. There are ways to help your child with literacy without even opening a book. It sounds funny, but it's by giving them experiences and vocabulary. So we kind of combed the Temecula area for low cost or free things. We checked all of these, the ones that are learning fun in your community. We checked all of these this spring in May and June. So we're hoping that everything is correct, but you would definitely want to call first. But there are opportunities like the Diamond Valley Lake has a dinosaur museum. They also have a really nice pool too, but they have a dinosaur museum. Or if you've never been to Harupa Mountain Discovery Center, they have all types of rocks. Even Temecula Lanes, going bowling. There's all kinds of fun and vocabulary to learn when you go bowling. The sheet is double-sided, so look at the back. And then also reading rewards in your community are some online things, ways that you can earn some free incentives. I know these days with prices of everything, the more we can earn and things we can do for free. Sorry about that. The more we can earn for free, the better. So make sure you peek at those. Okay, before we do our drawing, we want to talk about, remember your calendar, make sure you fill it out. And we're just really going to encourage you to keep going You've done 4 weeks and you guys have done a great job. There's a few more weeks left of school. It's easy to go back to week 1 and cycle through the activities that were your favorite. You don't have to do everything. You can pick the things your child liked best. But if you can continue, I can guarantee that your child will reap the benefits when they go back in the fall. We also are going to, in the Google Classroom, and that's what Mrs. Alton's going to show you, there is a program survey. And if you fill out the survey for us, it will help us in planning for next year, but please be gentle. Just remember that we try doing our best here, and hopefully that it helped you. And I am going to stop sharing now so that Mrs. Alton can show you where that is. And also, any parent that fills out that survey, we're going to send you a coupon for ice cream at Mariposa Ice Cream in Temecula. So if you fill out that, hopefully we fattened you up a little bit, but we're going to make sure that you get an ice cream, anybody that fills out the survey. So Mrs. Alton's just going to share Google Classroom really quickly with you.
Let me get that again. Okay. There we go.
Okay, so yeah, you want to just tap on the parent survey?
Yeah.
See right at the top, parent feedback, and there you go. And if you just click down below on the survey, there you go. And I was going to say too, if you scroll down, it does ask, I attended how many virtual meetings. If you watched a recorded meeting, that counts too. We just want to know if the meetings were helpful. So we're not keeping track there. I mean, in terms of this person did this many meetings or anything like that. It's just, it helps us know how helpful they were to people. And it's really all about being helpful to you guys. Okay. All right. In just a minute, we're going to do our drawing. I still see one hand up. Did you guys have another question, or is that might be from before? Okay. All right. I'm going to go back and I'll go back and share.
Let me stop sharing. Hold on.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So you ready, Mrs. Alton, with your drawing? You got it?
Put a few more in there. Hold on. Jessica Moore.
Jessica Moore. Are the Moores here? Jessica Moore? Well, obviously they're here.
Jamie's, yeah. Jamie's mom.
Okay. Oh, you didn't tell them what it was this week. We forgot to tell them. Sorry.
That's right.
In and out. You're going to in and out. The Moores are going to in and out. Okay. What else? One more.
Okay, hold on. Let me get another one. Okay. Catherine Tipton.
Oh, that went okay. The Tipton household is excited to go in and out. Please do not forget that anybody that fills out that survey can get some ice cream. And before we release today, we have Mrs. Locke, and Mrs. Locke is going to has some fun things for the students to do. She, like we mentioned before, she is the literacy specialist at Abby Rinke Elementary School, and she's going to take over in just a minute. On behalf of Mrs. Alton and myself, we really want to thank you for your participation. And remember, we're still on duty this whole week. Like, this is our last meeting, but you still got the week to go through. So we're still checking our email, and if there's anything we can do to help, we are definitely here to help you. Don't forget to put your name in the chat, and I am just gonna share differently. Mrs. Locke, are you there? Let's make sure she's here, that she got logged on.
Yes, I am.
There she is. There's Mrs. Locke down there in the corner. So hold on just a second. I'm going to shift my screen. Thank you, parents. You're welcome to stay, but it is time for our students. So give me just 1 second, Mrs. Locke, while I get up the tab that you need. Sorry, I told you I would share, and here we go. 1 more second. Thanks for your patience, everybody. Okay. And there we are. Okay, Mrs. Locke. Hold on, I'm trying to get it to go in the slideshow. I've got a bunch of stuff in the way.
No problem.
There we go. You just let me know when you want me to move the slides. All right, Mrs. Locke, it's all yours.
Awesome. Thank you. Hi, boys and girls. My name is Mrs. Locke. I'm the literacy specialist at Abby Ranke, and I'm so excited to be with you today. We're going to do a listening comprehension activity with a book. The book is called Llama, Llama, Red Pajamas. Anybody want to think? Let's think if we've ever heard or read this book before. Let me have you all think about that. Does the book look familiar? Mrs. Albertoni, would you like to put the cover of the book up for us?
Mrs.
Hello?
Locke?
Oh, there you are. Do you hear me?
Now we can. We lost you there for a minute.
Oh no. Hi. I don't know what you guys heard. Can you hear me now? Give me a thumbs
Yes,
up.
you just asked for the cover.
Okay, fantastic. So if you can put on the slide 2, that'd be fantastic.
Okay.
Boys and girls, a lot of times as we read, we pause and think. We need to think about what is going on in the story that really helps our comprehension. So while we wait for Mrs. Albertoni to put on the slide 2 for us, we're all going to think about Llama, Llama, Red Pajama for a second. Maybe you've heard it.
Mrs. Locke, where
Yeah.
I moved the slide, so I don't know, maybe there's the cover. Mrs. Alton, are you with me? There's the cover.
No,
I'm not seeing it.
I don't see it either, Mrs.
Okay,
Albertoni.
sorry, guys. Sorry,
That's okay. All we see is slide 1.
Yep.
Oh, there it
There we go.
is. Fantastic.
Okay, thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Sorry. Okay.
That's okay. Boys and girls, we're looking at now we're looking at the first page. So I'll begin to read it to you.
Where do you
Well,
want it, Mrs. Locke?
there it is.
There you go.
Boys and girls, give me a thumbs up if you've seen this book before. It's such a fun book. So we're going to read it. And while we read it, we are going to practice thinking, because thinking while reading is so important to help us build our comprehension. Okay, so I will read it aloud to you. You get to sit back and enjoy it and think as you're hearing me read the story. You might think of or hear a word that you're not sure of. Think about that, okay? And we'll talk about this story as we go. All right, Mrs. Albertoni, I'd love to begin reading Llama Llama. Llama Llama Red Pajama reads a story with his mama. Mama kisses baby's hair. Mama Llama goes downstairs. Llama Llama Red Pajama feels alone without his mama. Baby Llama wants a drink. Let's think. Why do you think Baby Llama wants a drink? Everyone think about that. And in just a moment, I'm going to ask you to put A, B, C, or D in the chat.
Thirsty.
Okay, let's keep ourselves muted and think about this. Baby Llama wants a drink. Is he so thirsty? Or B, he wants his mama? Or C, he needs to water plants? Or D, he wants to give his stuffed animal a bath? Now, if he wants a drink of water, let's put it in the chat, A, B, C, or D. I see lots of answers, and a lot of you think A. Let's think about that. Why do you think he wants a drink? Well, he could be thirsty, but if we go back and think on one page back, He feels alone without his mama. Do you think that could be a way for him to see his mom? I see some heads going up and down. That's right. So maybe he just wants his mama. Let's think about that. Give me a thumbs up if you've ever done that. Like you go to bed, but you want a drink of water because maybe you just aren't ready to go to bed and you want to see your grown up one more time to say goodnight. That's true. Yep, that could happen. So let's think about that as we continue reading our story. Mom is at the kitchen sink. Llama, red pajama, calls down to his mama. Mama says she'll be up soon. Baby llama hums a tune. Llama, red pajama, waiting for his mama. Mama isn't coming yet. Baby llama starts to fret. Baby llama starts to fret. What do you think the word fret means? Let's think about what's happening in the story and what would make sense. And let me read the answers and you can answer it in the chat. Baby llama starts to fret. Is it A, to get mad? Is it B, to worry? C, to become happy? Or D, to fall asleep? Baby llama starts to fret. What do you think that means? Ooh, I am seeing a lot of boys and girls answering with E. That makes me get excited. That means you're feeling that right now, baby llama's starting to worry. That is so good.
Yeah, what's good?
Worrying because she's taking a long time, right? Good job, you guys. I like the way you're thinking. Llama, red pajama, whimpers softly for his mama. Mama llama hears the phone. Baby llama starts to moan. Llama, red pajama, listen, quiet for his mama. What is Mama Llama doing? Baby llama starts boo-hooing. Llama, red pajama, hollers loudly for his mama. Baby llama stomps and pouts. Baby llama jumps and shouts. Llama, red pajama, in the dark without his mama. Eyes wide open, covers drawn. What if Mama Llama's gone? Llama, red pajama, weeping, wailing for his mama. Will his mama ever come? Mama Llama, run. Look at the way Mama looks. Look at how she's coming in. Mama Llama, or Baby Llama, go ahead, baby llama, what a tizzy. sometimes Mama's very busy. Please stop all this llama drama and be patient for your mama. All right, now we're thinking, why did it take Mama a while to get up to Llama's room? Now I'll read these answers so you can answer it in the chat. Was she sleeping? Was she taking a bath? So A, she was sleeping. B, she was taking a bath. Or C, she was busy. Or D, she was reading. Let's think about that. And we know that Mama Llama Red Pajama was worried. But we're seeing some great answers. Look at all of these
And busy.
boys and girls answering letter. Was it A? Thumbs up or down? B? Thumbs up or down? C? She was busy. Thumbs up or down? That's right. She was very busy. You all answered, most of you answered correctly with she was busy. And there were a lot of clues in the book that helped us understand that she was busy. Great job thinking, boys and girls. Little llama, don't you know, Mama Llama loves you so. Mama Llama's always near, even if she's not right here. Llama Red Pajama gets 2 kisses from his mama. Snuggles pillow soft and deep. Baby llama goes to sleep. Great job listening and thinking, boys and girls. I love that story. Now let's talk about a couple of things. We know how important it is to think as we read. Think about the story if we're reading to ourselves. Think about the story if we're listening to a story. And now let's think, how does baby llama feel when Mama Llama leaves? Okay, we know that we saw and heard how baby llama reacted when Mama Llama leaves. So those clues should help us think. Well, did baby llama feel tired when Mama left? Or B, he feels happy? C, he feels alone? Or D, he feels hungry? Let's think about that and put your answer in the chat. How does baby llama feel when Mama Llama leaves? He feels tired. He feels happy. He feels alone, or he feels hungry.
Mrs. Locke, can I
Yes?
ask a question? Can I ask a question? Does this question mean,
Of course.
does this mean when Mama leaves at the beginning of the book or when Mama leaves at the end of the book? I was just confused about that.
I would say it would mean when Mama leaves at the beginning of the book, because I
Okay.
feel like at the end, baby llama was asleep. That's my thought. But that is a really good question.
Yeah, my kiddo had the same thing because he's like he's tired because he was asleep, and I was like, I don't know, bud, let's think about that again. And he's like, well, is he happy then? I was like, well, what about the beginning? He's like, but he was asleep at the end when she left. So
So I
that's why
guess it could go either way.
Yeah, we went with his answer of whatever he said.
Yep, that's why we were asking. Yes, thanks, Mrs. Locke.
And it's also really great for you just to even think about that, because then you're thinking about how he felt in the beginning, and maybe if at the end it might be different, but it brings up all those thoughts and really builds your comprehension. So it could go either way, I guess. All right, let's talk about this. Colin, or I see we have a hand up.
I sleep at 1 in the morning.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's take a look at this next question, friends. Why did it take Mama a while to get up to Llama's room? So remember, when we read the story, Llama was getting, Llama was getting worried. Why did it take Mama a while to get to Llama's room? A, she was sleeping. B, she was taking a bath. Now we're remembering back in our story. Or C, she was busy. Or D, she was reading. So let's see if we can remember. Good job. Look at these answers I'm seeing come through. Nice remembering, my friends. Nice remembering. We're seeing a lot of boys and girls answering that she was busy. She was busy, but she came up when she was done, or she came up when she got worried too. By the way that Llama was hollering for. All right, boys and girls, Mama was busy, so baby Llama needed to learn to be what? Let's think about that. Mama Llama was so busy, baby Llama needed to learn to be A, kind, B, happy, C, bossy, or D, patient. Patient is D, A is kind, B is happy, C is bossy, and D is patient.
Patient.
I'm seeing a lot of boys and girls answering correctly with patient. Now let's all think, why do we think baby Llama needs to be a little patient? Think about that. Great job. I'm loving all these answers that are D. That's the correct answer. Because if baby Llama is just a little patient, Mama Llama is coming soon as she's done. Beautiful, beautiful job. Okay, next question. Think about this. What did baby Llama learn at the end of the story? A, even if Mama isn't right here, she is always near. Or B, it is fun to jump on the bed. Or C, it is not good to eat in bed. Or D, it is fun to go to the beach. Now let's think about those answer choices and what is the correct answer that works for our story that we just read. And there is even some evidence if we looked back to find out. Ooh, look at that. I am seeing a lot of boys and girls answering it with the letter A. A, even if Mama isn't right here, she is always near. Didn't it say that in our story at the end? Yes, it did. Excellent. We're going right back to take a look at that. Okay, look at the bottom of the page. It says, Mama Llama is always near, even if she's not right here. See it? Put your finger on it or give me a thumbs up. Good job. Excellent job, boys and girls. I had so much fun reading with you today. You guys, this I feel like was your last one. This was your last meet. And now you get to have such a fun summer reading and practicing all of the wonderful comprehension strategies and skills and play the games and read the books that we have in our Google Classroom for you.
Mrs.
So
Locke,
you're all set.
I'm just going to interrupt you. Thank you you did a great job of leading that story. And kids, you did a great job of listening. Before you go, everyone, can you put your name in the chat? And that way I can send you this gift bookmark for free food at Cane's Chicken Fingers. So can you put your name in the chat? You can put your first name and the first letter of your second name, of your last name, of your last name, if you're not sure how to spell it. So go ahead and put your name in the chat, okay? And I will make sure that I send this to you today. Jade, you've got your hand up. What's up?
I can't find the chat.
Okay, I'm gonna write your name down, Jade, just so I know. Or if it should, are you on an iPad or are you on a computer?
iPad.
Okay, I think there's 3 little dots. Do you see 3 little dots?
Yes.
Okay, can you tap on that? What happens? Does chat come up?
No, it just has an iPad, a book, and something.
Okay, I'm just gonna write it down, Jade, and then you and I will have to figure that out next time when I see you, okay? But I've got you down, Jade. I'll make sure you get yours. Oh,
Yay.
what's up, Jose? Did you have a question, buddy?
Yeah, I'm gonna miss you.
We're gonna miss you too. I'm gonna miss you too. So thank you so much, kids. It was so nice to see you. We had so much fun together. So you can give us a goodbye. Put your name in the chat if you didn't do it yet, and I'll make sure that I send this to you. All right. Keep working though. You can keep reading and working all summer long, and don't forget to fill out your calendar. Does everybody have their calendar? Color that calendar in. Give it to your reading teacher. All right. You can go. Bye, guys. This is Lottie.
Bye.
Anything else?